welcome to Odatiwa Women of Hour on OSRC Television, a program sponsored by the Ministry of Affairs, Women Affairs and Social Development. This platform is actually dedicated to empowering women, strengthening families, and of course, promoting inclusive social development across our dear Sunshine State. My name is Remy Allen, your host. Today we are honored to have with us Mr. Adebayo Oyegunwa. He's the Director of Social Welfare and will be shedding light on key areas of intervention by the ministry, ranging from health support for elderly, capacity building for professionals, strengthening family ties, talk about gender-based violence, and every area that the ministry have touched so far. And so I want to bring my guest on and let's meet my guest this evening. Good evening and thanks for joining me on Odatiwa Women's Initiative. Half hour.
Thank you, my sister. You are welcome.
All right, thank you very much. Last week was the maiden edition of the program, and we had the Honorable Commissioner on the program live, and that was in person of Dr. Mrs. Osamaye, and she spoke a lot about how the program came about, what everyone should look forward to on the program, and I know she did mention that sometimes people will be coming on board to talk about the program regarding all the many interventions that the ministry has undertaken in Ondo State, and that's why we have. Don't be surprised that is a man that we have on the program. That's how I'm telling you.
If or she.
If and I
If
don't
or
like
she.
that. If or she.
Yeah.
That's men who also believe in the cause of women, who don't believe that women should be relegated, who don't believe that women are nobody. The men that are fighting the cause of women. Thank you once again for joining the program.
Thank you.
All right, today we'll look like I mentioned in my intro, we'll look at the health intervention of the ministry. Could you give us an overview of the Odatiwa Medical Care Initiative and what inspired its introduction?
Yeah. Thank you once again. We want to, before I go into that, I want to quickly appreciate Mr. Governor for providing an enabling environment. Because where there is no place for you to even implement government activities or government programs, that will be exceedingly difficult. Secondly, I want to appreciate the Honorable Commissioner too, who is always there, the woman with direction and magnitudes. And equally, the work there is a teamwork, and as such, is a collective responsibility. And that has really helped us to achieve and to really go into action to ensure that most of these programs are well packaged and implemented on the field. Like you rightly asked a question that what's the coverage areas on the health activities. I want to say precisely that the health outreach is something initiated by the Honorable Commissioner, Dr. Osamaye. In fact, it started from Federal some months ago with the backup of Mr. Governor, with the approval of Mr. Governor. And when we were in the Federal, we were able to touch different group of people, different sectors, and as such, they were given free medical care. There were a lot of tests that were carried out, and they were provided relevant medical assistance. Even drugs were given to some. But you equally remember that when we are talking about health, health is wealth, and that are really help us to even go into certain area. These are elderly people. If you look at our elderly people, they have worked when they were in their youth and they are middle age, and as such, they demands effort of government for recognition. And as such, the Ministry of Women Affairs, under the leadership of Dr. Osamaye, has equally crafted efforts to ensure that they are given adequate medical attention. And as such, we were able to collaborate with Ministry of Health. So we remember in the as of last week Saturday, we were in other town. We invited the elderly people, apart from the traditional institutions, the elderly people, both men and women, were invited, and they were tested on the aspect of sugar level, their BP, and so on and so forth. And such, where they were found one thing, they were given some drugs too, and there was this issue of a referral system, because we collaborated with the medical personnel. Yeah, and they were so happy because they are seeing that as something that never happened before.
Exactly. I wanted to ask, how receptive were people towards this health program?
Yeah.
You know, people are sometimes they are skeptical when it comes to anything from government, and there are some perception that if you don't belong to a certain political party, especially the reigning APC in Ondo State, that you cannot benefit. Is it for selected few, or it is something that covered everybody, irrespective of your party affiliation?
Yeah, like you rightly said, it covers everybody, both men and women. That is the older people.
Especially the
Yeah,
elderly ones.
and why the turnout was so alarming, was so interesting, because of the fact that when we are talking about governance, you need to recoup the confidence of people, and that is this administration has been able to do. They believe much in the leadership of Dr. Odatiwa. As such, when we give them that invitation that was less than 24 hours, the turnout was very, very impressive.
All right. So how does the ministry ensure that these services reach vulnerable people, especially the hard to reach communities?
Yeah,
Or you're just still visiting towns?
no.
Have you gone inter?
Thank you, ma. We, like I said, on the medical attention to the elderly,
Yes.
we just started. But from what we have in our design, we are going to cover all the 18 local government areas. So in the course of that, we need to go into the villages and in the towns or the communities. We go to the traditional institutions that will ensure that everybody is covered. So that will really help us. That is our basic design for now.
Okay.
Yeah. So everybody is going to be reached.
Be reached,
Yeah.
including pregnant women, including children.
The program is for the elderly for now.
Elderly for
Yeah,
now.
for the
This
elderly.
particular
Yeah,
one.
this one is for the elderly.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. Okay, so let's go to gender equality. Advocacy for gender equality has been a major global and national priority. What steps is Ondo State taking to promote gender inclusive policies?
Yeah, we want to appreciate the state government, especially the House of Assembly members, for ensuring that they provided relevant tools, acts of parliament to ensure that our women are really catered for. And that has been our guiding principle in terms of whatever we do, so that what a man can do, a woman can do better. So we, at a point in the past, we find out that women are seen as they were seen as second citizen. But in the recent times, with this act of parliament and from government implementation, we now find out that we are on the same page. If you look at it in the Ministry of Women Affairs, the Director of Women Affairs is a lady. The Commissioner there is a woman. The Permanent Secretary, the Administrative Secretary is a woman, and even a lot of people that are there. So if you go to the field and see what they are doing, you now observe that what a man can do, they can equally do. But when regarding to what you just said, we are very much concerned about the space of our women. We want to ensure that economically they are there, so that they can equally make meaningful contribution at home. When we talk of
economic development,
yes, if you look at our schools too, just as of recent, the government ensured that we are not concentrating on men. They said we should pad the girl, take the girl, pad the girl. We were in the schools, we were the ministry led by the Honorable Commissioner of Women Affairs, Dr. Samayi. we were able to give out this pad, what is it called?
Okay, the sanitary
Pad
pad.
for to our
The young
ladies there,
girls.
yes. And apart from that, we are able to give them some lectures on this attitudinal change, on how to manage their head and the leadership role and so on and so forth. So that we're able to incorporate them into the system whereby they will not be seen as a second-hand citizen. Now, when you talk of the abuse, we are very firm about that. We are very firm about that because we don't want them to be. We want to let them see themselves as human beings, like their counterparts, their male counterparts.
All right, can you speak on the availability of response centers, hotlines, or support services for women that they can reach?
Yeah, thank you, ma. On that, we as of now, the ministry, apart from the headquarters here, we are having 9 zonal offices
Okay.
across the states where you can really, where we implement government, that help us to implement government policies on women. Like we're having in Ikare, we're having in Owo, we're having in Oka, we're having zonal officers, even in Kedaya, that belongs to Ministry of Women Affairs, we have in Ondo, we have in Idonri, we have it in Okitipupa, Irele, and Odigbo in Ore. So these are the areas that, I mean, the zonal office we use it as cascading government policies. And apart from that, our officers, they work around the clock. We have some other agencies that we monitor, like this Ondo State, Ondo State gender-based violence for agents for gender-based violence.
Yes.
With an agency under the Ministry of Women Affairs, and we have our hotlines there, and some other agencies that will work in collaboration with them, so that we can get a meaningful result. We can be result-oriented, and thereby be effective and efficient in the services.
Okay. Recently, the First Lady, that's Mrs. Odatiwa, in collaboration with the ministry, embarked on digital violence. Yes. What were the response, and what were the things that were done during that program? And let me add it to this. You know that gender-based violence is one pressing issue in Nigeria and even all over the world, especially in this country. How is the ministry tackling GBV, which is gender-based violence, at the community level?
Yeah, like you rightly said, this gender-based violence is a very rampant thing,
Yes.
very, very common. And that is why the government has decided to put up a law,
That's the
violence
VAP law.
against VAP law, which is a guide to me and you. So as such, I think everybody, we have been able to sensitize our people to get to know about this, the implication if you abuse your woman at home, or you abuse a woman anywhere. So people are now conversant of the repercussion of that. But you mentioned that what has been the response of our people to this ending of digital violence. You remember that this year the theme is ending digital violence against women and girls. And the import of that is that that's why we are talking about 16 days activism on gender-based violence. In fact, we started it in Ondo. It is a global awareness. It's a global program, and for Ondo State, it was launched in the last week. That was 25th of November. And why it was inaugurated by the Honorable Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Dr. Samaye. We invited a lot of different stakeholders, and they give different talks, and we make some press briefing to which we are well aware of. But I want to tell that it did not end there. Even as of tomorrow, we'll be going out on a work awareness work that will be led by the First Lady of Ondo State, that is the wife of Mr. Governor, Odatiwa, and she's going to take the lead. That will start from the cathedral here, down to Old Garage, to Post Office, to Deji's Palace. Thereby, at that point, we'll be able to, some of our people will be addressed, will give out handbills, and some posters will be placed on some strategic places, so that our people should know the relevance of ending digital violence or abuse on our women and our children. And from there, by 12 o'clock, there will be a stakeholders meeting.
Okay.
And at the stakeholders meeting, we'll be inviting a lot of people like the NGOs. We invite you people, the press, the traditional institutions too. Then we'll be having the group, the panelists too. Like some of them is the commissioner for police in Ondo State and some other dignitaries. They will be there to discuss on how we can end digital violence against our women and children. Yeah. So we even our children too, from the children parliament that was moribund sometimes ago.
Yes.
The speaker of the children parliament will be there. They will be able to give their different views about that, and will be able to crop out the errors, the challenges. Then we want to look for the way forward, so that all of us can have the same mind. We'll be able to, so that we can curb this violence against our women and children.
But by way of rounding off, what will be your message of encouragement to women out there?
Yeah, my encouraging words is just to tell our women they should not die in silence. There, a lot of them are undergoing a lot of abuse over there. Some start from the issue of bully, apart from the digital bully or whatever, or abuse. If your husband now slap you at home or they put some bad words or across you should be able to stand up and report such people in our offices. You should be able to stand up for your right. You should be able to let people know, let government know what you are going through. If your husband decides to beat you, you know it's against the law. So you should be able to report to the security agency. Then you come to our office. Like I earlier mentioned, we have our offices across the state. We have in Ikare. If you are in Ikare, you report. Go to our office in Ikare. Go to Women Affairs in Ikare. Report. If you are in Owo, report. If you are in Akoko, this Oka, you can equally report such cases down to Paira. So we have our offices across. So I want to appeal to our women. They should not die in silence. Yeah, thank you.
All right, that's a good place to leave it. Women don't die in silence. Thank you very much, Mr. Adebayo Oyegunwa, for sharing those valuable insights into the ministry's transformative programs that the ministry has undertaken. And to our viewer, thank you for joining the program today. It returns next week. But remember, a stronger society begins with empowered individuals and protected families. It is very important that the family is protected. Until this program returns next week, my name is Remy Allen, and it's bye from here.
Vulnerable in Ondo State. Tune in to Odatiwa Women Half Hour every Monday at 5 p.m. on Osrc TV. Join us as we showcase the efforts of Governor Lucky Oribisa Ayedatiwa and his supportive wife Oluwaseun Ayedatiwa towards Ondo State women and spotlight the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development activities in driving women economic empowerment, promoting social development and protection, advancing child welfare and safety, caring for the vulnerable and persons with disabilities, championing gender equality. Don't miss updates on Ibirorun, health intervention for pregnant women. All these and more are geared towards ensuring that governance reaches every household, no matter who you are, no matter where you live. Come on, let's join hands together and make Ondo State the envy of all. Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Honorable Dr. Oluwaseun Bosede Osamaye, announcer.